Hey everyone, SeanPierceJohnson here for Carvin Audio and Carvin Amplifiers, and I thought today would be a cool idea if we explored some of the more uncommon uses for the Legacy Drive. Of course, the fact that it's a tube-based pedal preamp, it kind of opens up a whole wide swath of possibilities from the electric world of guitar to, well, the acoustic electric world of guitar like I'm playing right now. And it is certainly a valuable and flexible tool. So let's start by taking a look at the VLD1 as an acoustic electric guitar preamp. It's a pretty common practice with acoustic electric guitars to just go direct. And, well, direct acoustic electric guitar, depending on the guitar that you use, can be pretty blah. It can be pretty lifeless, and it can be pretty bland, and it's pretty uninspiring. Now, I happen to like the electronics built into this Taylor guitar that I have, and they sound like this without any sort of added EQ, compression, or anything. It's just the guitar into the interface. But let's say we wanted to do something a little different. We wanted to shape that sound a little bit more going into the board. The Legacy Drive is essentially a tube preamp with an EQ in it, which is pretty darn awesome to say the least. So by engaging that and using the Legacy Drive's clean channel, we then have a full 3-band EQ and some added presence and a little bit of volume that we can then use to send to the board. Now, with the settings that I had at the top of the video, this is what that does to that otherwise sort of bland acoustic electric pickup. And we can even change that up a little bit by maybe taking out a little bit of bass and adding a little bit more mid-range, maybe turn back the highs a little bit. So we can take that pickup and morph it into something a little bit different. Which I think is really cool. So whether you're using it live or in the studio, if you need to play acoustic electric guitar and want something a little bit more lively and a little bit more pleasing on the ears, you can go ahead and use the Legacy Drive as a tube EQ. I know what you're thinking. That doesn't sound like a guitar. Because, well, it's not a guitar, but it looks like a guitar. This is my favorite bass instrument. It is a Fender Bass 6, and I just love it for what it is. It is quirky, but it does the bass thing, and it does it very, very well. The problem is that direct bass is often more lifeless than direct acoustic guitar. I know that it's pretty common for bass players to go DI, but for me, I just find that that sound it doesn't do it for me. I need a little something else. I need a little extra juice. And, well, what you heard me playing at the top of the video was this Bass 6 into the Legacy Drive, using it as a tone shaper and a preamp and a little bit of a booster. Now, this is going to be the tone of the Bass 6 without the Legacy Drive, and you'll see that its output is fairly weak. Not much to it, but We turn on the legacy drive, we get a little bit of boost, and with the 3-band EQ and the additional presence, we get to shape the tone in whatever way we see fit. I like it. The bass knob cranked up all the way adds the right amount of heft. Take out the presence to darken the sound a little bit. Put in just a little bit of treble so that we can really get that kind of click-clack of the strings, and maybe scoop out some of that mid-range for that kind of classic J-style bass tone. There is one other thing that I like to do with the legacy drive when it comes to the bass. That's to use it in conjunction with a DI signal so that we can blend the two sounds together. What I do is use the legacy drive's dirty channel with just a little bit of grit, couple that with a DI signal straight from the bass. So you're going to be hearing just that. Now here's how the setup's going to go. I have the bass 6 plugged into this DI box on my desk. From there, I'm going out the parallel output to the legacy drive. And from the legacy drive, we're going out of the cabinet simulated output to a channel on my recording interface. Then, from the DI box, I have a DI signal going into another channel of my recording interface. So let's first hear the direct bass sound. We got a nice fullness, nice body, but when we add in the dirt from the legacy drive, we get a nice dimension and a nice little bit of grit, but we're not losing that nice fundamental low end. And if you want to, you can turn up the drive to get something that maybe goes into a little bit more of a fuzzy territory. And there you have some of the more uncommon uses for the Steve Vai signature legacy drive. I'm really finding it to be an incredibly versatile tool for the stage and the studio, and it does a lot more than I first took it for. So if you want to find out more information and maybe get one yourself, you can visit carvinaudio.com.